Callum, well, some good cheers for him. He's got a pretty good YouTube channel if you haven't seen it.
Force up, girls getting high and the boys getting more so. Can you kick it? Yes, you can. We got everybody. That's a banger. Welcome everyone, we're in Birmingham, which is a bit of a different scenario to last video, which we're in Boston, and we've literally teleported straight there. It's about a week later. It's currently Saturday at 20 past 2. I'm racing in the British Championships this evening, you could call it, afternoon, evening, which is at 20 past 6 or half past 6. So we're about 4 hours away from that race. We've got a little Airbnb here, which is nice, little balcony. Don't know if that's going to show up on the camera. Won't be using it because it's raining. But yeah, we're here. Last week I achieved the world indoor qualifying time, which was basically you had to run under 3:53.5 for a mile. And if you do that, then you get a chance to potentially qualify for the World Indoor Championships. And the next kind of stage of that selection is why we're here. So the British Championships, if you win and become British champion and you have the qualifying time, which I do, then you'll automatically be selected for the World Championships. If you don't win, then you could still get picked. There's all sorts of different criteria about who's won medals, who's done this, form against each other, all this sort of stuff. And it's kind of up to a board of people to make a discretionary decision for Team GB to be able to send 2 people. So my job here is to try and win and become British champion. But as is in the title, the champion of a whole country that's pretty good at running, it's going to be quite challenging. But one step at a time, the qualifying time's been ticked off. Second stage today is the heats, which is essentially like a semi-final, you could call it, if you're not too sort of on it with athletics like that, where we'll race this evening and then the top however many people from each heat, based on the top finishing times or the fastest times, will progress to tomorrow's final. So we've booked the Airbnb as if I'm going to make the final, because we have to be positive, but it's going to be no easy feat to make it through the heat or the semi-final tonight. So once I get there and check in a couple of hours before the race, we should know kind of how many people are going to be in my heat, where you need to finish in terms of first, second, third, whatever, to be able to qualify for tomorrow. All of those details get worked out just before you go out and race. So no more details I can provide right now. But yeah, should be good. I'm excited. It's always good to be able to come into a championship, or for me, for my first time coming into a championship, thinking like, wow, I've actually got a chance to get a medal or a top finish or even win the thing, which is really nice because, you know, I'm very privileged to be in that position. A lot of time you just come here and you're like, oh, it'd be good to take part, or, you know, I'm going to race and there's 10 guys that are faster than me on paper. So yeah, I'm in a great position, feel kind of fit and ready to go, and yeah, just got to try and get the job done. Not sponsored by Apple, but would happily be. On paper, it's a simple task to get through a heat, especially under these circumstances. Only 8 guys in the heat and the top 5 are going to get through, but that doesn't change the emotions that you feel when you're preparing and warming up. It does feel like it's going to be a serious effort, a hard race, something where you need to focus. And there were some real good guys in my heat that ended up being factors in the final if I was to make it through. So it was really important that I just concentrated, stayed relaxed and treated this as if it was a final. Even though it wouldn't be a fast all-out effort, it was important that from the gun I got a good position and I got out hard. Once I got out, the idea was just to stay out of trouble. If that meant being at the front, that's absolutely fine. And if I was to be at the front, I had to make sure it went at a decent pace. Some of the guys in this heat had PBs a lot slower than mine, so it's important that I can make them work pretty hard and try and run the kick out of their legs. Once I was at the front, it was a case of staying on the rail, running the shortest line, but also being aware and looking over my shoulder to make sure that if someone did come around, I wasn't going to be trapped. You can see when you watch the video that a lot of people did get clipped or maybe got spiked or their number came off, and all of that can really get in your head and stress you out when you're running. So if you can just be out of trouble, it's fine. Here, when the guy comes around me, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. I wasn't sure how hard I was going to need to go. So when he came round, I thought, okay, stay relaxed, move into the outside of lane 1 to make sure that nobody can get around me and I'm in a good position. I'm not boxed in for when I do need to strike. I only need to be in the top 5. It's not necessary that I have to win or go all out. But with 100 to go, I really did try and step on it a little bit and close the gap and make sure that nobody could get into the top 5 position, and we kept it very safe. the bell lap can sometimes be the hardest to deal with. You want to kick and you want to give your all, you're fresh and you've been tapering for this for the whole of the week, but at the same time you know you could have a race tomorrow if you get through to the final. So it's really about measuring your effort, making sure that you get into the position that you want to be in, but expend as little energy as possible while doing that. So here, just to make sure, I came round into lane 2, so I had enough room on my inside and outside if necessary, and luckily I was clear in the top 5, so I could just roll straight through home. Race done, got through, that's the important thing. Now I'm not in hospital, I'm just got the old compression boots on. Just had, well, what did we do? Finished the race, normal cool down, couple of miles, went for some dinner, just went to Wagamama's, just like, it was easy, convenient, something for everyone. And then yeah, got back, bought my trusty blueberries, because I eat some blueberries the night before a race, just always have. Well, I say always have, in recent times I have. And then yeah, I'll just have 30 minutes on these, just recover a little bit, and then have my magnesium. I'll just go to sleep, wake up and do it all again tomorrow pretty much. Standard routine, wake up, go for a shakeout run, come back, have some breakfast, chill, have some lunch, and then go to the meet. So yeah, it should be pretty, don't know if routine's the right word, but basically like just repeat of today essentially, but obviously the nerves will be a bit more intensified, the kind of adrenaline will be a bit more intensified, all that sort of stuff, which does change things a little bit. Like, the way I like to describe this, I know it sounds weird to people, and especially if you're a bit older, like, it might not make sense, but like, it's like doing your second to last exam. That's the kind of way that I describe it. You know, when you're doing exams at school and like you're ticking them off, you do the second to last one and you come out of the exam and you're like, oh, thank God that's done, like, I don't have to do maths again, or I don't have to do science again, or whatever. And you've kind of got that adrenaline release of finishing, but you have to refocus because it's not quite your last exam. You're not on holiday yet. You can't just go off and like do whatever. You've got to get back home and then revise and get kind of in the right mindset for your next exam. It's basically what this is. So it's really nice to do it. I'm like, yes, got them through the heat. And normally if this was just one race, we'd like, you know, maybe go out, would have, you know, ate a little bit more, maybe had a beer or whatever, and we would have been like, oh, that's great. We'll be like having a bit of a joke and like stay up a bit later than we should. But I've got to refocus and be like, okay, tomorrow when I wake up, my body's going to be going, okay, shit, you're a bit nervous, you're ready to run. Like, I've got to get back in that mode, because there's no point going to the final now and being like, oh, it's just great that I made the final, like, this is great. I need to go and make sure I get a medal, if not win. So I kind of got to switch to have that attitude, which is a little bit difficult, I guess, because you want to just celebrate the race you've done, but at the same time, this is the step up that I'm trying to make now to get onto the higher levels and not just be happy with taking part, be happy with executing my best ability. And to do that, I need to make sure that I'm switched on and take it seriously. So yeah, that's why I travel with shit like this, like try and, you know, I'm trying to coax myself into being a bit more athlete rather than just Callum, and I'm finding a nice balance, I think. Do you want a cup to put it in? Nope. No shame. I'll go and warm up, if not a bit before it. So. Wing Cafe Nero, not sponsored. Been here 2 days in a row, still not sponsored. Yeah, morning, went for a shakeout, chilled out. It's quite an early, I say early race, at 3:20, which when you're used to racing in the evening feels quite early. The day flies by. It's 12:20 now, so I've got about 3 hours. Gonna head over to the stadium, catch up with some of the boys before the 3K. Because they're racing, just chill out, normal routine pretty much. A little bit nervous, but at the same time, I think I'm more nervous for heat, because like the pressure of getting through, how it's going to be run. This is simple, it's just like run your hardest. You don't have to worry about saving energy, doing anything, just like go for it and try and win. If you don't win, it's not the end of the world, just give it my best. Hopefully come back with an automatic qualifying spot for Worlds, but if not, sit tight and wait a few days and find out. Yeah, should be good. See you on the other side.
The box office, but do you want to meet down the front at the main entrance? Or just is the box office easier for you?
Alright. Right, see you in a bit.
So yeah, we're
the season's best in third at 23.69.
on the outside of the outer deck before they cut to the inside lane. The brothers, Charles and George Wheeler. So too big a field to give you a full lane by lane or bit by bit introduction, but I'm sure you want to welcome.
didn't have to cut it off. I got no skin left on me.
Is it really bad? What did you do?
It's quite bad.
Is it just,
she said if it hurts in a few days, you might have to go get an X-ray. But she's like, it ain't snapped. So.
Okay. But a pulp.
In the seeds.
See what I mean?
Oh no, it feels like. To be honest, I said to it feels like I've like gone over the handlebars of my bike, put my arms out to stop myself, and just like sprained it a bit. Like I'll be fine. But my skin on my shoulder and elbow is gone. So that's why I had to go, because she was like, oh, you got to come get all the rubber wiped out of it. She was like, it's fine. And she said, don't put anything on it. She said, don't put any dressing, nothing, just get the air to it, so I'll be fine. What the two things that happened, right, is one, I went about 25 to 50 metres too early.
Okay.
Because I went and I thought, I'm going to win, like I feel fine. But then I thought Adam was slowing more than he was, so I actually didn't get round him on the bend. So I was so wide on the bend that I have actually run much further than I should have. If I just sat in and waited, and then I should have popped out once we're around the bend. But I didn't trust myself to leave it that late because I felt great. And then the other thing that happened, and I can't blame Adam for this because I would have done the same, is he obviously in his head thought it was me versus him. So like I would have done, slightly drift out, great tactical move to block me slightly. That's exactly what you should do. But it meant that Piers could just go straight down the middle. So whereas I had the worst possible line, running around the outside, being a donut, Piers just got to swoop on the inside. But you got to remember the guy's run 3:34. He's been injured, so no one talks about him anymore. But he's absolutely quality. Do you know what I mean? And he's a nice lad. So yeah, it's what it is. But at least I beat. Nothing against Adam, love him. But at least I beat him because for selection, I think if I'd finished third, that would have been a problem. Whereas at least I have that little chip now that my time isn't the best, but I've got the head-to-head. So that's good. That was necessary.